Oh my God. What's up, bros? Me, the professor. I just saw the funniest thing. It said, and this is from Passport OG. I love this guy. And is it a stream? No. No, it's just a video. It says Passport Bros don't want pookied wives. Pookied. You guys know anybody been pookied? I'm not a pookie. What they're trying to do at this point is people are trying to distance themselves from the name Passport Bros. It's hilarious. And the reason why is because there's dudes that are going down to Colombia and Brazil, and sometimes they tend to act up. Same thing with the DR, everywhere else. If you get Americans overseas, especially the ugly Americans, you're gonna have so much fun. But I don't want to talk about that today. All right. And you saw the thumbnail. You know what this is about. You know exactly what this is about. So here we go. I got sober on the 19th of March 2002. And how I got sober was via a chick fucking cheating on me. So when I found out, I went on a bender and just, at the time I was under this, I was just about done drinking. You know what I mean? But alcoholics that drink don't do well. And guys, I used to talk in AA meetings all the time, like almost every week. Talked to a lot of people about what I went through, because alcoholism is a seemingly hopeless state of mind and body, meaning the mind constantly is thinking that it has to get the next drink, and the physical part would be the addiction. And that's where shit got really shitty for me real quick. And if you grew up in a home that had one of your parents was an alcoholic, then the chances are genetically that you'll be an alcoholic too. Well, my mom was drunk when she had me. No, she was definitely drinking while she was pregnant. No question about it. And eventually died of alcoholism. I imagine that. So I have all these wonderful. I have a great uncle. He was an alcoholic and a drug addict, and he got sober, and he was sober like 10 years. But he went on a trip and relapsed and did cocaine and had a heart attack and died in a hotel. And when they went to this hotel and just, went to claim his body and everything, and they looked under the bed and looked in the bed, he had like a briefcase, and in it was obviously ransacked by whatever hooker he was with, and they discovered cocaine. So there is that. And he was an admirable dude. If there's one dude in my entire family that I show a great deal of respect with, it was with Foster. His son has died of alcoholism. His son died like last year of alcoholism. His mom's an alcoholic, and his dad was an alcoholic. And that's so sad to see his family just fall apart like that. But back to the story. I have two other uncles that were also alcoholics. And one of them was hooked on prescription pain meds, had cirrhosis, had hepatitis C, losing all his teeth. He was taking, obviously, chemotherapy medicine for his liver, and he was slowly falling apart. He took a gun and stuck it in his eye and pulled the trigger and killed himself. He deleted himself. And then the third one was the biggest asshole in the family, and his name was Yanni. And Johnny was an alcoholic. He was the best alcoholic, though. Of all of them, he was the one that was consistently fucked up, like regular. So let's go take a look outside, because there's lots and lots and lots of potential thieves outside and all that shit. Um, mira. So it really doesn't matter. There's 3 homeless guys outside right now, and I don't care because they know better. They don't fucking come around here. But the neighbors, when they put out trash, the homeless guys go through all the trash and look for stuff to recycle or sell. Very weird system of homelessness here, because you're homeless in Mexico, it's because you have mental problems or you have drug problems or crime problems. Those are the 3 reasons why these guys end up on a street. And when they do end up on a street, they end up doing all kinds of atrocious shit. So hold on a second. I'm going to close the door so we don't have to hear them ruffling around outside. Now that it's been 22 years, 19th of March 2002, since I drank anything, and that includes mouthwash. I'm in touch with nothing, because when alcoholics get to a point where their life has lost control and no one trusts them or cares about them or has any confidence in them. God, these dogs are going crazy outside. There's a number of things that happen in the mind, for example, when you get sober. And the first thing that happens is you start to feel better. And you think you can feel better forever. And that's why people drink again after a period of sobriety. They lose emotional control, or they think they can drink like a normal person. Alcoholics don't metabolize alcohol like normal people, which is why every time I drank, I always got in trouble every single time at the end. So I made bad decisions. I made bad choices. And my last bad choice, well, it was a compounded effect of bad choices over years. So on the 19th of March 2002, I went to an old girlfriend's house at about 11 o'clock at night, 10:30. Walked through the front door, went upstairs, and she was in bed with this other guy. And I was 3 sheets to the wind. I drank a whole bottle of Wild Turkey and took a handful of fucking Xanax. And I went over there because I knew some shit was going down. And I got to the bottom of it real quick, because I got to the bottom of the stairs because this dude hit me with a golf club in the head and knocked me down the stairs. It hit me so hard, he knocked me out of my shoes. So I got to run this time. I got to come back to this topic because there's so much to unpack. But at the moment, there's so much outside noise that it seems almost ridiculous for me to continue. So if you like this video, do me a favor and write a comment down below and just tell me what you think. Should I continue with these basically AA meetings online, or should I just keep talking about these stories? Because the stories don't mean shit to me anymore. It's been 22 years. There's really not much to unpack. I mean, besides the stupid shit I did, and then having to spend time in jail for the stupid shit I did, and then being on probation for the stupid shit I did, and then having to be in mental health counseling for 2 years for stupid shit I did, or 9 months in a men's halfway house for alcoholics for stupid shit I did, and be kicked out basically of the homeless center at the VA because I kept doing stupid shit. And like I said, it's too much to unpack. And I'm going to give you guys so much info about this stuff because there's a cure to alcoholism now, by the way. If you guys didn't know this, there's a cure, an actual medicine that takes away your desire to drink alcohol. You don't have withdrawals, and you don't stop drinking either. But what will happen is that this medicine, by the way, is illegal in the United States, but it's legal here in Mexico at the pharmacy. And it's made from some tree bark or something like that. And basically, it resets the brain. And from what I understand, it's really, really powerful. In fact, they set up clinics in Tijuana and I think San Diego. No, not San Diego, but El Paso. For people that are coming off of drugs, they go to these places and they never touch drugs again. I mean, it's a lot of holistic stuff, but I understand medical chemistry, and that stuff actually works. And we have lots and lots and lots of evidence that ibogaine is a winner. Ironically, ibogaine is something that cures addiction to heroin. I've never done heroin or drugs like that shooting a fucking needle in your arm and shit. No, I made a shoot in my butt with some fucking testosterone, but not from drugs. I got other people that know all about that stuff. But anyway, I just wanted to close this by saying that, the alcoholics that drink don't do well. And if you want a solution to alcoholism, look, the only way is a spiritual problem. We're all sick people. And we don't know where we are right now. We don't know where we are. I know you're saying, what do you mean you don't know where you are? You're in Mexico, right? Yeah, but I'm not talking about where I am physically, but what realm am I in? Like, where am I for real? Is this a afterlife? Is this a coma? Are we in? Are we all sick and like sleeping right now? Is that why the clown world is crazy as it is? But people have criticized me over the years, like, you're weak, you can't drink. No, it's a physical, medical problem that says I can't metabolize alcohol like everybody else. And there's a parallel to this as little boys specifically that have ADHD or are on the spectrum of autism. They don't metabolize folic acid. Folic acid is in every bread product in the world and in every packaged product. And it's called enriched flour. You guys have seen that probably since you were little. Well, that little bit of enriched flour, right around 1990, went excessively high in products. See, folic acid is an amino acid that helps you, but in excess, people who don't metabolize it, basically it's like having brain fog the entire day. So when you get your kids up in the morning and you give them a big bucket of sugary cereal shit with fake milk and all that jazz, basically they go on a sugar high and then they crash. But what happens is the folic acid makes them want to go to sleep and not pay attention. So there's all these things that cause boys specifically, not girls, to not metabolize and then have physical reactions from it. And single moms don't know any better. They don't know any better at all about diet for boys. It's not the same as girls. Okay. How many girls do you know that have ADHD? Exactly. They don't. It's all boys. Now, there might be some people out there, no, my kid has hyperactivity. It's not the same. Little boys with spectrum, autism, or ADHD cannot metabolize folic acid. It affects their brain, it slows them down, it makes them hyperactive, it makes them not just the inability to focus. And if you've ever been around kids that have that problem and you recognize it, the problem is folic acid. And if you eliminate that from their diet for about a week, you'll almost see instant results in paying attention. Well, same thing goes for alcohol. What happens when we stop drinking is that our liver starts to do its job in cleaning out our system because it wants to replace all the cells that we've destroyed with ourselves in the liver and the kidneys and basically our entire body. Our body recycles its own cells and it rebuilds in a year or so. And it's a matter of months or whatever. But I'm thinking about this is like, well, if that's true, and let me put it like this. The first drink is the most dangerous because it's the one that people who have alcoholism, who stop drinking for a while, says, hey, you know what? I've been a good boy. I think I could just have one more. And what's weird is that, let's say that person has stopped drinking for a period of 10 years and they pick up a drink after 10 years of sobriety, they are back to square one. They say that that alcoholism is progressive. It's a progressive disease. It gets worse with time, not better. So even if you're stopped for a long time, if you drink again, you're 10 years worse than you were before. So anyway, I got things I gotta, unpack on this, and I need to take notes and tell you guys because just from observation, there's a lot of passport bros that come down here that are alcoholics. There's a lot of dudes that come down here and drink and get in trouble. There's a lot of dudes down here that are not used to being around just pretty girls. And once they get around a Colombian or a Mexican cock blocker, they're getting their feelings. The next thing you know, they're wanting to throw down. So what I'm saying is that avoid that shit. It's pretty simple. Just avoid that shit. Like if you're so bad off, go to the pharmacy. That's all I tell everybody. They want to go to fucking AA meetings with me and shit, or they want some magic pill. There is none. There is none. It's not magic. It's a heavy duty drug that will beat the piss out of alcoholism, any opiate addiction, cigarettes, all that. It just wipes them out completely. And it basically resets the brain like you were before you even picked up the first drink. But the insanity of the first drink is for an alcoholic to say, you know what, I might be able to drink successfully. How did I fuck up? I stopped drinking for about 5 years when I was a good boy, and when I was in the military. And then I drank in France after 5 years of sobriety. And I embarrassed everybody because it was a boat tour where they had cheese and wine. Now, the backstory on this stuff is disgusting, guys. So you know, when you go to a wine tasting thing in Germany, they put this thing in the middle of a table, and they put short glasses of wine everywhere and cheese to try. Now, what they do in a wine tasting thing is you take a little bit of the sip, taste it, make your little blue noises and shit, spit it into what's called a spittle. And what a spittle is basically like a brass. It looks a little bit like an urn, or like what the cowboys used to spit their tobacco in. And when the tourists were coming through, every one of them was taking a little bit of a taste, and then the nerds, the wine nerds that aren't there to get fucked up, spit this stuff into the spittle. Of course, the table had, I don't know how many glasses of wine, but what happened is when I took the first one, that first one immediately, this is the first time I see. I was in France and I was on a USO tour. And in the tour, they said, "Hey, we got a wine tasting thing in cheese. You're more than welcome to come. It's on a boat. It's going to go down the Rhine River. It's very elegant, very classy. You got to get dressed up for it." Well, back at the wine tasting table, as the people move from one table to the next or next room to the next, as the connoisseur of the wine tells you about the herbal essence of this fucking wine shit. So they're giving out these little shot glasses like this. So, and 50 of them on the table. So what I did was just drank every fucking one of them that was on the table. When the tour guide went out, I just pounded all of them. And that's when I knew I was hooked again after 5 years. I knew. I didn't stop there. I went on to all the other rooms to do exactly the same. I got close to drinking close to 75 shots of wine in that first day after that first drink, after all these years of sobriety. After all those years, it was 5 years. I got 22 years now, but that was what I needed. I needed to like hit bottom hard. But it wasn't enough because that was just the procession of the beginning of a very, very spiraling, swirling of the bowl, if you will. And when it came to the very end, flush, life is ruined, record is ruined, cannot from now on, from future anything, can't get a job that's worth a shit, can't get an apartment because they do background checks on everybody now. And like I said, when you're an alcoholic that drinks like I did, you don't do very well in life. It's just why I tell people, look, man, if you want to get rid of your problems, you got to stop drinking. Because if you stop drinking, you'll stop getting in trouble. It's pretty fucking logical. But the physical part of that, whereas the mental and then there's the physical. The mental part I fell for because I thought I was good enough to drink again after 5 years of sobriety. And that's what happened to me. Then as things progressed, I was not just drinking in the nighttime, I was drinking in the daytime. Then I was drinking in the daytime, and I was able to do that because I worked in an office and nobody came around. And then if anybody came there, I had a way of hiding that no one would fucking find me. So I've been stuck in the fucking closet at the civil engineering fucking station in K-Town, drunk, pissed drunk, just pissed drunk. And I went and I was drinking wine when I started again. So I thought, hey, wine is elegant, right? 6% alcohol gets you fucked up. And it's only like 3 glasses per bottle. So I was buying it by the case. So I was pounding down these bottles at night like beer every night, just pounding them down. And I was like, you know what? This sucks. I went out and got a bottle of vodka, like a fifth of vodka, and a 2-liter bottle of Fanta. Orange Fanta in Germany, by the way, is excellent. and it's not the same. And that's what I used to mix vodka with, was Fanta and vodka. And it would be about this much fucking vodka and about that much Fanta. So when the doctors at the VA asked me, how much do you drink? I said, I just have one drink at night. And they were right. I was right. It's one drink at night. That was a whole damn one of those big old cups that are like this big, plastic cups. And so that was my routine for years. Wake up, drink, go to work, hide, drink, go back home, drink, pass out, wake up, go back to work, and just hang out. I mean, come on. Then, as things got progressively worse and worse and worse, I started showing up late. I'm never late to anything. I'm early. Started showing up late to work, showing up late to formation, coming to work smelling like booze. My old boss, he was a great dude. He was a dude from Haiti, and he made major in under 12 years or something. It was great. He was a good dude. He made major, and he stopped me, and he grabbed me by both of my arms like this. Okay, he grabbed me by both of my arms like this. And he says, listen to me, man. He goes, you're one of our best guys in the whole unit. But what you're doing is making you look bad in front of everybody. And then knowing that even though it's not here at work, you come in, you smell like a brewery. Now, what's going on? And I would always lie and tell the same thing. I just had a couple of beers the night before. So I'm saying it's always the night before. Because then you're not like, because my boss could have sent me to the hospital, having a blood alcohol test done, and I probably was still drunk from the night before. I didn't go to sleep a lot. I basically insomnia, and drinking helped. And eventually the drinking stopped working because it did help me pass out every night. Because when you drink that much vodka, you eventually just shut down and pass out. But it wasn't enough. And I'm sure as fuck not going to take drugs. So I would take 3 Tylenol PMs and then drink a half a fifth of vodka in one cup in one setting and pass out. And that was my cycle over again, over again, over again. What they didn't tell you is that Tylenol PM is really bad for your liver. It's even worse when you drink on top of it. So as you can see, I was making good choices. I was really making bad choices. And I had just gone through a horrible fucking divorce where my kid was taken to the States of all places. And she took her to the States and lost her passport. That gave me a real good excuse to go to the bar that night and never go home again. I'm not even kidding you. I didn't even go home. I had uniforms in my car. You know what I mean? I had my boots and shoe polish. And I just would just whore around. That's what I would do. I would basically go around to a different chick's house every night and just crash. And you can think about this like this: good looking dude that's built in the military, running around Germany and able to, drunk as fuck, by the way. And they always thought I was so cute. And eventually they didn't think I was cute anymore. And then my friends started distancing themselves from me. And then for too long, I was completely alone. I found myself in a hotel in Frankfurt watching watching a documentary on children in Colombia. Now, in Colombia is poor and it has sections that are extreme poverty, and then the rest is like middle class or upper class. That's all there is. So I'm watching this fucking video on television. This is on television, and I'm in this hotel and I'm sitting in front of the bed, just pissed drunk. Some hooker had just stolen something from me and left my hotel. So I'm sitting there in this beautiful hotel, and I'm looking at a TV set, which is about this far from my face, and I'm seeing these little kids, in squalor, in like diapers, in mud, in mud puddles, crying and shit. You know how the media does that to make little poor kids look worse? Well, that's what they did to me, and man, it touched my heart. I mean, I was 3 sheets to the wind. I mean, I was that drunk that when I saw that video, I said, I gotta go to Colombia. I gotta go to Colombia. My ex-girlfriend was from Colombia, from Cali. She was so amazing. And so I said, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to Colombia and I'm gonna live there. And I'm gonna find me a pretty girl if I can't find her again, because she had a very common name, and it was Juliana Montoya. But they have four names, and that breaks it down. It narrows it down. Plus, she was from Cali, Colombia, and at the time she was my age or younger. So I never saw her again after that. But my ex girlfriend wanted to kill her, and they were having their scuffle and squabbles and stuff like that, fighting over me. I was so drunk I didn't care. Drunk, she's gonna sound like a drill, and then I'm just gonna leave and I'm gonna go sleep at some other girl's house. That's exactly what I did every single night. And then eventually it caught up with me. And that was the 19th of March 2002. Now, I wasn't expecting a dude to be there, but I kind of was. But I wasn't expecting to be 6'7" either, and 300 pounds, okay? And with a golf club, no less. I walk into my ex girlfriend's house. We were supposedly still dating. I just had been in Germany. And so when I went there, got drunk as fuck. I knew she was fucking around, and I went there. And this dude smashed this eye out of the socket. I had to have this put back in. Um, he broke a rib on my side and gave me one mass. Obviously, he hit me in the eye, so the whole side of my face was purple for almost 3 weeks. Now, remember something too is that I was drunk and I was in a gated community yelling and screaming at my ex girlfriend. He beats the fuck out of me. I go outside, I climb up a tree. Because at this point, I start screaming, "This motherfucker!" Now I'm drunk, so I'm the bad guy already. So when the cops show up, they sent a few and a dog, and I'm yelling at them, "You fucking cops, you touch me, and my lawyer will have your jackets." You guys know what that means? Do you guys know what it means when you tell a cop, blah, 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 your jacket? It's something serious. You gotta look that up. But I said that I'm up in a tree, and mind you, I'm not doing well. I'm up in a tree, screaming. I'm 28 years old, by the way. That she was cheating, so I let everybody in the whole fucking neighborhood know that the guy that she was with is a dude that just got out of prison after 12 years for manslaughter. Okay, so she had that wonderful guy to replace me with. But I'm thinking about it at the time, and I mean, think about it. When your status is low as an alcoholic and you're basically homeless, but you're still, getting by, you're the same as that guy. You're no different. You're no better than this other guy that did time in prison. He isn't in prison. He did time in prison, and he was just defending his girlfriend. But you see, he had no idea that she had me in her life. He had no idea. And then when he finally fucking found out, it was after the fact. And this is what this guy did, because I was on probation for a long time, and it was a no contact order, and he tried to contact me so that I would violate probation. Now, what was great is that this guy was a junkie. He was a crackhead, and he was with this girl, and she got pregnant from another guy, another junkie. And after it was all over and done with, and all, I was off probation and all that stuff, I called her, and to thank her, I was like, "Hey, you know what? I know you fucking did me wrong, but what you did helped me to get sober. And now it's been 2 years." And I hear the guy in the background, "Is that motherfucker? You fucking punk ass bitch, you come over here, fuck." And then I wasn't even in the country. It didn't matter, because I was only doing that for a couple reasons, because I knew she had set me up to get my ass kicked, because she's a professional fight promoter, like Dirty Fuck says. And she knew I'd be drunk if I did come there. And she knew that the cops would respond to a woman if there's some drunk asshole in her house, ex-boyfriend, all the red flags is there. And so, yes, this was my very last day. I had gotten beat the fuck out of, and by midnight, I was processed, but I was also in the hospital, in the jail. I was in the infirmary, because I had to sew my eye back in, and with the rest of the shit. And then they had to give me medicine for like 3 days. I was withdrawing from Xanax and alcohol. And the hallucinations, I didn't know what was real or not. I was inside this, medical cell with this other guy who happened to be diabetic. And he's talking to me, and then I'm like, and I'm hallucinating. This is from withdrawal from Xanax, benzodiazepine, and alcohol. And this is the ladies hadn't got to me in time. They said it would have killed me. What's good? What is good? What's up, bro? Yeah, what we're doing right now is talking about my my first last drink. My first last drink. That was when I was still in Germany, and I crossed that invisible line that I knew in the past I couldn't drink successfully because all my family members obviously died and killed themselves and stuff like that from alcoholism. And when I was a full blown alcoholic, I damn near lost my military career. So I stopped drinking, and I didn't do it voluntarily. I did it via jail. And I'm not saying that to try and sound like a big tough guy because I'm not the kind of guy who goes to jail because I don't break laws. But some reason, me and drinking, we love to cross that fucking line. That barrier it says, hey, drink this and lose all sense of control, restraint, and you'll be in jail by midnight. How's that sound? And I'm like, that sounds great. Where do I sign up? And I did that consistently until alcohol wiped away everything of value in my life. So now remember something. When you fuck up like that, in your life, your family members are never going to see you the same again. They're always going to see you as an alcoholic. So now I'm 22 years sober. I don't talk to them anymore because they just, even though I got sober, they still talk to me about the old shit I did. You know what I mean? Calling me names and stuff. And as I got better and better and better, and my mind cleared up, I started reading books, started meditating, and started doing better. And then what happens in a family is as fucked up as that was is that they're going to criticize and they're going to judge you because you're not doing what they are doing anymore. See, you were equals before, now you're not. Oh, you're not drinking anymore. Oh, really? You got like a problem or something? See, that's what was always their thing. It was always a thing. Shame, insults, guilt, and need to be right always. And sign language is one of those things that men use too. Because in an argument, for example, you want to find a loophole in the argument so that you can counter. And shame is one of those ways of doing that. And when you're an alcoholic, your life is nothing but shame. But they can't do it to you after the fact, especially when you consistently stayed sober. See, I went to 7 a.m. AA meetings every single day without fail. Even Christmas, anybody's birthday, didn't care. If it was a holiday, the AA clubhouse was always open, and they always had coffee, and I always went at 7 a.m. And occasionally I would talk a lot. Imagine that. And the people enjoyed my company and loved me a lot. And that made me really start to realize that I could be doing a whole lot better than I am. So I did. And I did a whole bunch better. And I ended up going to Delaware, Maryland, ended up going on the White Marlin World Championship, and we won the World Championship of the White Marlins on a private yacht, and it was owned by the one of the people in the Anheuser-Busch Corporation. And it was a beautiful home. There was like 4 houses that they made in one. They had little bitty ancient doorknobs and skinny doors because the house was from 1700s. And I go in there and I'm lost because there's all these doors in this mansion. They all look the same. And I'm like looking and looking and looking. And there's this Japanese guy in a fucking tuxedo at the end of the hallway. Sir, are you okay? Everything all right? And I'm like, I can't find my room. And he goes, oh no, I'll show you. Come with me. Opens the door. This little bitty skinny door, and there is a California king size bed sitting there, a large flat screen and an iPad that was for the guests. That was brilliant. In the bathroom, they had this huge steam shower and a bowl that had like gel testosterone packets, sachets or whatever. I'm in that beautiful shower and I'm washing my hair with this shampoo that's like made out of like dandelions and some fancy shit that those people like. And I'm saying to myself, man, my quality of life sucks. I really need to find a way that I could live more economically than just being here. I'm not moving to Miami. I'm on a veteran's pension. It's not like we're millionaires. And so alcoholism is very, very common with combat veterans, and it works for a while, but at the end it stops and then it turns on you, and eventually you'll end up where I was. Because it isn't. At first it's fun, then it's fun with problems, and at the end it's nothing but fucking problems. And that's why I want to walk away from that permanently. And the thing is that I want to quit drinking forever. Nobody can promise that shit. And it's better that you don't. It's better that you just say, I'm just not going to drink today. Because today only. If I just say I'm not going to drink today, or I could wait till tomorrow, and I wait till tomorrow, that's another day. Now, this morning I checked. I have 8,044 days without alcohol. That's 22 years, 1 month, and 0 days. Pretty amazing, right? Now, I'm not saying that to impress you, but it does impress the shit out of me. That a dude like me, that drank every day, come from a single mother home, emotionally and physically abused by whomever, to turn this ship around and say, those people don't fucking matter to me anymore. They don't have any control over my life. I'm the one that picks up the drink. They can't trick me or fuck with me and try and make me drink. I voluntarily did that shit. I voluntarily, every single thing I could possibly do to destroy my own life. And it just didn't work. You know why? Because God wanted me around. God wanted to keep me around so that I might lead other people to Christ, or I could lead other people fucking out of hell. Who the hell knows? So that's about the end of it, guys. I'm the professor, and I hope this reaches you in time. And if you got an alcoholism problem, dude, just shoot me an email. I'm going to tell you the secret on how to quit forever. And if you need medical attention, I can tell you what you need to do. And I don't charge for this stuff. I don't charge for anything. I enjoy doing this stuff for free. And that's why I keep doing this. I may not be monetized or ever, but every once in a while, some of my listeners will donate, money to the kids. And what I do with that money is I take that money. This is, by the way, it's $75 per kid to do my school. $75 per month. So, and if any of you guys know, it's Monday through Friday. And so I take a lot of effort to try and make this a good thing for kids, because they've never seen me drunk before. They admire me because they just like me the way that I carry myself. And at the same time, too, is that we really should not be drinking, period, as humans. That is the soul killer. And it is a spirit. That's why it's called spirits. And gin is called gin because they're little invisible, like like genies. Like a jinn is a monster or some kind, or like a Arabic vampire or some shit. But I heard about it in Turkey when I was in Turkey, and they're like the jinn, the jinn. They're like, shut up, the jinn shit. But that's where the word jinn comes from. Jin basically means genie, and that's where the word jinn, Gin, comes from. And so I've resolved myself that day. I'm never going back to jail. I'm not going to deal with people anymore that who are going to treat me like that. I'm not going to go with women that are cheaters. Famous last words. And I'm going to have my head on a swivel at this point on, because obviously I cannot trust fucking anybody. Now, when your family sees that, and this is my favorite part of this whole talk, is because it seems to be the repetitive scene. Years ago, when they would describe me and say, oh, don't fuck with him because he's crazy. Don't talk to him because he's crazy. See, what people don't think is like, well, when veterans come back and they got all PTSD, it makes them crazy. No, that's not what crazy is. Crazy would be like psychotic breakdown, something like that. That would be crazy. Being an alcoholic, yeah, madness, insanity, yeah, for sure. But not crazy. See, if a person breaks their fucking arm and they're in a cast and everybody signs their cast, oh, best wishes and a heart, KIT, keep in touch, all that shit. And then they write it on there, okay? People are like, oh, look at you, haha. But when someone accuses you of being fucking crazy, that's where you get no support. See, if you got cancer or something like that, people are fucking feel sorry for you, but not an alcoholic. And I don't blame them now. I don't care anymore. But that's the way that things went down for me. And I've been able to like recover from a seemingly hopeless state of mind and body doing jujitsu. Now I'm doing meditation, doing bodybuilding, and competing for so many years. All helped me stay on track. So I say this: if you're going to come overseas, have a goal that entails something with an activity, something that doesn't include going to a bar or a place that you're going to be offered drinks in mass. If that's what you want to do, if that's what you want to do and go, die of alcoholism, that's up to you, man. See, that's why I didn't do drugs, because I knew that dying of alcoholism is like getting kicked to death by rabbits. It's slow and you don't even know it until it's too late. So anyway, I've broken the generational curse. That's what I did. I broke the generational curse. No, Cash App doesn't work in Mexico. Cash App doesn't work in Mexico. I mean, we have PayPal for Firefighters Without Borders. We have like a QR code that our bank sent us and said, "Hey, when you want donations, you just send them this QR code and they'll donate to your charity." Um, no, we don't have Cash App down here. We have surprisingly we have PayPal. The backstory of that didn't have PayPal down in Latin America at all for a long, long time, and it wasn't because they were afraid of fraud or anything like that. It's that they didn't want to see people making their own money, and the easiest way to do that is restrict them. Amazing, right? Think about all the stuff you could have sold on eBay, Amazon, or whatever, but because you can't accept online payments because you're in Colombia or you're in Nicaragua or you're in Mexico, then it makes life really fucking hard. And some of us have had to use processors in the US to process payments because of that. So no, we don't have Cash App in Mexico. It's just a matter of time, because the way things are looking, Mexico is actually coming up pretty hard. We're doing good. There's the production, like the sector of the GDP here, as far as manufacturing goes, is doing really good because China's not. And there's so many sectors here, it's crazy. So anyway, I don't want to ramble on about nothing, but I do appreciate you guys checking in with me a lot. All right. And I wanna shout out to you guys. See, stop. Is that Jay Rulo? Sure is, man. Man, I think we were talking. Well, I appreciate you guys coming up. And if you, like I said, if you do have an alcoholic problem, there is a solution. And I found that solution. It's worked fine for me. I haven't had a desire to drink since. And that was on the 19th of March, 2002. Hey, man, I appreciate you guys coming up tonight. I'm the professor, and I'm out.